Hey, hello guys. Yeah, so obviously you didn't stream on Thursday, just because I was recording a eye tutorial, and yeah, it's kind of done, but I'm not overly happy with it, so I'm gonna go back and re-record it. I'm thinking of doing like one video that's like a super speedy, going through the process of making an eye and shading it, and then make another like kind of playlist of videos where I actually spend a little bit of time explaining each step rather than just doing it, just because I couldn't do something quick enough to be happy with while explaining all the stuff I wanted to do, but at the same time I do want to make a short video. So yeah, I'm gonna do like two different things. One that's like a playlist of separate videos, and one that's like, you know, eye tutorial for people that don't have any free time. So yeah, anyway, back to this project. So this is where we're up to at the moment. We've started modeling a basic environment. I think I want to work on the legs today, just because they're kind of holding everything back. So if I just run a quick, let's bring that down here, just render something like this, you see that the legs are just completely holding the whole thing back. Like, they're just way too simplistic. I'm not too worried in terms of geometry, kind of realism, just because I am going to be simulating this into pose, so I'm really not too worried about that. And plus, once it's in pose, I'll probably model it around a little bit at that point too. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we've got pretty much everything in place. I also need to figure out what else is going to go in the environment. So currently, all we've got is, let's go into the perspective view. All we've got is this pencil, which obviously needs to be UV'd and needs to be textured, all that stuff. We've got the paper, and we've got this like kind of fake grass thing going on. Not entirely sure how I want to blend that into the ground yet. I'm almost debating using the UVs and doing like a transparency map, but then I'd need to normalize all of these UVs. So we'll see if that actually works out or not, because it might not actually work out. But yeah, so I guess we should just get on with it, right? So I still need to figure out if I'm actually happy with these or not. There's shading, lighting, two-side lighting. Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure if I'm happy with this. Let's just quickly... I also need to figure out a general scene layout. So for now I'm just going to put those in a group. ENV, temp, geo, paper base, pencil, grass, and that's it for the environment. So let's group all that stuff. ENV, geo, drag that in there. What's this group? This group is the monster's head. Let's just call that monster head group. Oh, I can put this whole thing and call this monster group. And we got render geo, so just drag that in there. Drag you in there as well. Grab all these guys, group those. Let's drag you in there too. Group. Is there a way to color these in the outliner? There is, right? Display, assign materials, no. File names. There is definitely a way to color these, I just can't remember how you do it. Oh, there we go, outline color. Oh, interesting. Oh, there we go. Cool, let's just quickly color these. Well, I guess red works fine for... Red will be anything that's camera. Apparently saturation at 1 breaks it, though. Oh, you've broken that. That's almost impressively quickly that broke. Oh, that's working. Alright, cool. We're gonna want the render geo put those in a group. Well, put all of this in a group actually. What are you? Oh, yeah, there's the box. I guess we could keep that for now. Just put that out there. Put you in the environment temp. Oh, we've already got an env group. Drag you in there. Cool. And then that's just background stuff, not too worried about that. And this can get a weird how it constantly breaks. I guess we'll leave that alone for now. Okay, so let's just hide this guy, drag him into the environment temp group. Now I can delete that. There we go. Right, so let's actually get on with it now. I'm going to need to go into substance, aren't I? I need to set up the general shaders for these guys too. Let's hide this group. Let's hide the box too. And let's just get a general render to see how he's doing. Let's put that back there. Interesting. Why have you broken? This is going to be one of those streams, isn't it? Okay, so every single AOV is blank. Why is every single AOV blank? Saving an alt version so I can go back to it. Let's try perspective camera. What's going on with you then? Let's assign a new material. Oh, that broke now. Is it the project not being set? Something broke? I mean, it was working a second ago. Close tab. Let's figure out what's going on with you then. Delete all the layers because I don't need them. In fact, let's just go delete unused layers. Just duplicate one out, move it there, see if that works. Okay, something's really broken immediately. Just save this scene. Can always go back to the old ones if I need to. That's record time though for something like that to break. Come on, do you think? There we go. Okay, so it's interesting that assigning a new material didn't fix it. Oh, wait. There we go. So let's see if this works this time. Okay, it's working now. That was super weird. So let's just go and add our scarf material. There it is. There we go. Obviously we need the ground kind of cast shadows to like get rid of how flat the lighting is. Now I can show the internet again. There we go. No idea what broke there. Interesting though. Right, so trousers and shoes. Still never quite decided what I want to do with the shoes. So I was looking at some images online earlier, and I think I do like the shape, so I'm not going to throw that away. But I think in terms of shading, there's two images I found that I find quite interesting. So one of them is, oh, let's zoom out on that guy. One of them is this. I quite like the kind of corduroy thing this has got going on. Although for this to look good, I'd need to get a lot more kind of panels modeled in. And we could potentially do some groom to kind of break up these, like kind of fan these edges a bit. And the other one was this, which I kind of find adorable, to be honest. It's like someone's just got some burlap sack and painted shoes on it, and that is what they're wearing. It's kind of cool. I feel like I need context to this image because there's way too much mud on this person for it to be just a normal thing. Granted, the shoes already give that away. That's weird, but yeah. So I think I might go with a corduroy type effect. But now it's a case of, okay, well, how do I make that look good? Because this won't. And it also doesn't make much sense to have these like sackcloth corduroy shoe things. I also just realized I'm in the render cam still. So just put that there. Got perspective. So I feel like we need to model in some panels to make this actually work. And then it's a case of, okay, well, where the panels go. Because the whole point is that it's like a weird sackcloth type thing. So maybe we can do that's actually what I want, but so I guess we can continue that this way. I feel I should go one higher. Maybe even to the top. Yeah, let's do that. And all I want to do is just quickly bevel this. Add another segment. And for that segment, I'm just going to pump it out a bit. So let's actually just do this. Oh, that didn't actually select the whole way around. How did that not select the whole way around? Weird, but okay. So let's just grab See, it really wants me to do that, doesn't it? So let's not do that. How's that different on each side? So they should be identical, because the topology itself is identical. So why are they not producing the same result? Yeah, what the fuck? So it's just a case of welding that guy, right? So let's merge these to center. I don't know why it's doing that different in each side though. And then get that loop. In fact, now that we've got this, we can actually set the loop a bit closer. And then just bump that out. And then to make that bed in a bit more, let's insert that loop there. That doesn't really work, does it, visually? Unless we did something here as well. That looks a bit better. Now I could sell those as like two different pieces, which makes more sense as a shoe. Although I'd need to sharpen this guy up a bit. Let's just see how this goes, just inserting a loop like that. That works a lot better. And up here, that's working well enough. Although there is a temptation to kind of cut it into different pieces. I guess it's working fine as it is. So now do we add some laces? Is that the next step? Oh, I also need to soften these normals and fix whatever's going on over here probably. I like how this comes out. It's kind of cool. Hi, how about this? You about to send the link? I should probably fix that distribution of polygons first. Let's grab you and go over here. How did it end up so janky? Let's just see how one smooth looks. And this side looks a lot more interesting than this one already. We do need to sharpen up this though. So let's just grab this bevel. Wait, how did that just happen? Oh, fuck you. Okay, so we need to insert a loop manually to avoid that. Let's go to mesh display, soften edge, and let's just see how smooth looks. Not too happy with the way it's kind of acting around here, but it's working well enough. Guessing I'll need to relax this out as well, aren't I? I'm not overly happy with the way this looks, but at the same time I do need to kind of relax the topology out a bit, otherwise it's going to look super weird. I'd rather have weird looking topo than weird looking shapes. It's the shapes that you see in the final render. And this isn't exactly going through a full pipeline. I mean, it kind of is because I am going to be rigging this, but it's not extreme enough for it to be worth worrying about. So I feel like we need to just relax this out as well. Yeah, that's better. Do we need laces? Or like something to hold it together? Might need to re-UV the shoes, but I kind of knew that was coming anyway. How do you look when we... Oh. Works well enough. Let's try bridging these two. And then extrude these guys. Does that give a nice result if we do that? Mesh center. Mesh center. So let's extrude you in like that. These should be separate, shouldn't they? Also, Kosi, did you try to send something? Because if you try to send a link, it won't go through. Because the way you sent the last message, it seemed like you wanted to send something through. There we go. Right, so let's mirror that over. But actually, what we're doing, let's set you to -1. Modify freeze transformations. Delete the old one. Right shoe. Then we need to re-UV these because they ain't gonna work. So let's go mapping. And let's go into the UV space. Cool. So, where do we need to place our cuts? Yeah, try sending the link again, but remove the .com. That might work. Come on, let me grab you. There we go. Cut those. Cool. And then we need to cut this guy off. So where's the best place to hide that? It's in there, right? Cut that off. And what we're going to need to do is check yeah, it isn't that. Alright, shit. So cut UV edges, and then come on. So let's move and so those. This ain't gonna work. Where are you coming from? Cut edge. Cut you as well. Move and so. Fold and fold. That's really satisfying how well that came out. It would make more sense for this to be attached to this guy, right? In fact, at least it's going to be the same material. So let's cut that off again. And where's that going to resew to? Is that going to resew to... Just realized I cut the wrong edges. Cut. No. Cut. And moving so. There we go, I got there eventually. So that's actually satisfyingly laid out already. So let's just straighten that out a bit. You are completely fucked. That's a bit better. I also need to straighten this out though. It's an image link. Yeah, but if you're trying to send like a URL, you can send it, just make sure you remove the .com. If you want to send the image itself, just find me on Facebook. Lay that out. Be nice if it actually laid out vertically. Oh, I tried to lay out vertically. Okay. Align Z to V. There we go. So we want all of these to be straight, right? I guess it makes more sense to straighten from this point, right? That is not even remotely straightened. So now straighten it. So what I'm wondering now is, should this be cut? Like, should there be some relief cuts here? Should it be like cut at the front or something to allow this to unfold more naturally, or are we just going to let it kind of fold in? Because the UVs of this would cause like the pattern to go across and then dive down into the front. I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate, and annoyingly I can't really see on either of the references how that should work. Cool, so I guess we should start straightening out these UVs, right? I need to turn off allow negative scale. I'll prevent negative scale. That ain't gonna work. We have to just allow that one. Is there an option? No, there's no options. There we go. First, you're going to need to fix the textile density. I just really need these to be straight. So let's get these guys, let's bump them up. And then one at a time, go through these. We'll obviously have to fix those, but that's fine for now. Straighten. And then we'll have to manually kind of pretty this up a bit. That I have to leave completely alone. So it's these guys now that need adjusting. And then for that to flow properly, we're gonna need, I guess, oh, that didn't straighten out at all. Well, I guess that is an issue back here. Oh, do I allow that? Because the thing is, technically it's okay for UVs to stretch on cloth in areas where the actual cloth is stretching. If anything, it actually is more correct for that to happen, but that doesn't feel like it's how the cloth will stretch. So I think I'm going to have to like relax the UVs just back here. So I literally just unfold like these four. Unfold like that. That works well enough. So now I can go through and unfold one layer at a time, right? And that will just, it will keep the general straightness of the UVs, but it will try to kind of warp it to sit a bit more comfortably. Although I do kind of still want these to be straightened out, so let's on this side. There we go, that's a bit more like it. And then again, we'll have to kind of straighten these UVs out again for it to work. Manual UVing is pretty chill, to be honest. I find this type of work quite relaxing, because you can just switch off and just do it. That. That's already straight. Should probably not change the verts that get straightened. Cool, so we got that. Let's just quickly unfold the corners. Unfold. And then I guess if we need to, we can straighten that back out like that. So that's working for me. So now, do we straighten these guys out? I guess we should. Although again, I shouldn't like militantly straighten them. Like if they're not meant to be straight, then don't force them to be. But for now, let's just get it generally there. We can unfold once we got past like the first few. So like that one I want to unfold for sure. unfold you. That's not what I wanted. Okay. You need to go that way. You need to go there. There. Okay, now let's just quickly unfold like this. That is not what I want. We also need to straighten this bit out, don't we? So let's just grab these guys. Soft select and destroy all the stuff we were just doing. Unfold you. Unfold you. You. Cool, just unfold this section. Yeah, it really doesn't like this area, so let's just let it do what it needs to do. That's pretty clean. We won't need to push that much further really for our needs. Where are you though? So that's not removable apparently. Cool. So let's just use the layout tool to scale these guys, so turn rotation off. That looks like it's working for me. It just needs to be bigger. Oh no, it's already scaled it. Alright, cool. So now I just need to get a layout that works. This one doesn't need to be consistent with the other two, so we can lie that across, because it's going to be like a levery type thing, I think. Then up, down doesn't matter as long as it's consistent. In terms of like, you know, up is always up. There we go. Yeah, so the way this would work, you can imagine the cloth would just follow these grid lines, which that looks like it should be okay. So now, that really bothers me. Can we just unfold this? That's how it should be. No. I'm going to trust it, but I really don't want to. That just looks so like unappealing. But if that's what it's calling for, that's what it's calling for. So, I'm not convinced that's right though. Let's just quickly do that. And I guess we should straighten the shell around that. So there is a consistent like middle through line. Oh, actually no, it does turn off to the side. So let it do its thing. Sometimes I just have to trust the tool. Cool, so now I just need to transfer those UVs to this guy. So I think it's from then to. Let's just save the scene. And let's go UV, no, mesh, edit mesh. Is it not edit mesh, is it mesh? It is mesh. Then we want to transfer attributes, transfer UV by topology, transfer. There we go. So now we just need to get all of these laid out nicely together. Which is just a case of doing like top bottom. So let's go with you. So now's a good moment to make a choice. Do we want the lever to be grouped so that like down in one area is just lever and then the rest is canvas? I think that makes more sense to me as a UV layout anyway, which I guess this is a UV layout, but you get my point. Let's just scale all this down a bit. And then just to make it a bit more visually appealing. Guess that's a bit better. Although good luck telling which way is left and which way is right anymore. Can't just look at the UVs and tell that now, which is a little bit of an issue. Not a major issue, but it is an issue. And then I need to keep the textile density the same across both. There we go. Alright, so we got new shoes, which look a fair bit better. Not perfect by any stretch, but better. I guess we can start building a material. We're going to have to get into substance though. We're also going to want the bands, aren't we? Which are currently... Where are you in there? Oh, there's a right shoe, left shoe. Okay. In grouping. So, R shoe band geo, L shoe band geo, there we go. Alright, well, let's do that. Let's go to panels, UVs, and then go back to my classic. Do a quick test render with that guy. Let's go render cam. Let's get the environment in there, but hide the grass. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Arnold render view. A bit more interesting. We're gonna have to change the silhouette of one of them slightly, but that's generally working for me. I guess we could have a piece of string kind of tying these two sides together, even if it's literally just one piece of string, just to kind of pull them, and that would give us a reason to like kind of tuck this area in, because currently that reads too much like a sock with something strapped to the outside of it rather than something holding something else together. So let's kill that, and I'm not going to modify topology just so I don't have to re-UV it. Or I'm not going to like do any substantial changes to topology. Let's just grab, well, I will need to re-unfold these guys, but that's not a big loss really. So if we put a string going over that, or just something to make it feel like it's tied down, that'll feel a lot better. So I guess the best bet is to grab those edges, modify, convert, polygon edges to curve, delete history on it, and I can smooth that. Grab that curve again. Go into CV mode. And then figure out how to make this look convincing. Well, let's give it a quick general test first. So literally just doing that. Delete your history, generate, curve utilities, attach brush to curves, stroke. And then let's convert that, modify, convert. All right, convert paint effects to polygons. Did that not work? Oh, it did work. Alright, cool. And let's just assign a temporary material. How does that look in comparison? Obviously it needs a bit more work. So let's modify center pivot. Get a bit of a different color going. Basically it's a brighter, less saturated version. Turn you off. It would need quite a few more strings, wouldn't it, for it to work? Let's try just duplicating you up. Needs to be thickened up a bit. Oh, just turn that. Come on. All right. Combine. Face mode. It would need to be messier. It's going to be one of those things where I'm going to end up spending ages making this look right, and then it won't actually be worth it. I'm just doing this as a test. I'm not convinced this is going to work, to be honest, but it's worth testing at least. I'm not going to worry too much about that kink. I should use a different fall off though, right? Maybe this is something I'll return to, because I'm not convinced. Maybe I need to continue it like the whole way up. Let's try that. Again, temporary as fuck, but let's just do this. Let's just see if that works from a distance. Don't know. Like, genuinely not sure on that, if I want to do it or not. I mean, once we've got grass in there, it probably won't matter anyway, right? Let's try getting that environment group. Yeah, it's not going to matter in the slightest, although this does work quite well. Okay, so we're doing some laces then. Although I'm not going to worry about UVs or anything, really. Just pull that in. Grab you. You'll need to come down here, aren't you? I do love soft select. It's such a helpful tool. Like, seriously, it can do anything. And I guess one of them should be hanging down, shouldn't he? It's like coming back down over everything else. Well, if we were to get really technical, we should have other laces then going the other way. So let's just try. Wait, that's not going to work. Let's undo all that shit. Put him back up there. Combine these guys. Then -1 scale, move you that way, and we're gonna have to move everything around again, aren't we? Actually, the bottom one we don't need. Wait, I've confused something here. What is it I need to remove right now? Kind of like how these two are wrapping around each other, so I'm going to keep that. But then you need to be going... You need to be going up here for that to work. Oh, I see what I've done wrong. Do I just need to go and look at some shoes for a bit? Because I've got something very confused in my head right now. I mean, we could go with like over-the-top lacing. That could be fun. I need to definitely simplify the topology on these guys though. Kind of like how mad that looks. Let's have a quick look from render. Let's save the scene. Oh, we're gonna need to freeze transformations. Render, update full scene. Cool, it's broken. Hey! Right, okay. Glad to save the scene when I did. Also, weight painting these is gonna be a fucking bitch. Although I guess I could just do it as a wrap deformer rather than weight paint, because weight painting that is suicide. So you're gonna die or no? Having a particularly unstable day today. Come on, Maya, die. I need to find the color space it's talking about. There's a file in here somewhere that doesn't have a color space. Assigned anyway, not a real one. So let's get these again. Modify, freeze transformations. Save the scene again, just in case it crashes. At least we don't have to freeze transforms again. And even though it's all intersecting mess, let's just quickly get into onward render view and do a render of that. Give that moment to do its thing. Does it look too chaotic? So which one works best? Left or right? Right has more interest, but I like the simplicity of left. But then left doesn't make that much sense, like at all. Oh, decisions. Let's get the grass in there to see how much this decision's about to matter, which will be not at all. Oh, no, the laces work better. I'm surprised that actually having that grass there really helps. No idea why though. So let's hide the grass again and fix the laces. So I think I might go with an over-the-top amount of lacing, because there's something quite fun about it. Like, it doesn't make sense, but that's kind of why I like it. So let's just have it, like, be too much. And then we're going to need to wrap some of them around the others, but that can come later. So let's try to actually like thread these. I say try, it's not exactly difficult, but let's do it anyway. This sort of stuff's quite fun. This is the bit of modeling that is just like super fun in my opinion. This is why I've always wanted to be a modeler. Like, modeling is kind of my dream job, I think. Like, even this tedious stuff is fun to me. It's like a slightly, like, I guess not every studio modeling would be anything like this, but yeah, that little bit of knotting helps. And then let's grab you, pull you up towards here. I'm gonna put you through there. And then it's kind of fun. Kind of like the bumps that we're getting, so I'm not going to fix those. It's convenient that I like them. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that, it is quite convenient. But you know, minimizing work isn't always the worst thing. But normally it's a good thing. But when I'm doing personal projects, I quite like the punishment of doing something like a overly like arduous way. It just feels more rewarding to finish it. Granted, I always end up regretting that when I get to the end of the project and I'm burnt out as fuck because I've been on something for like 5 times as long as I normally would be. But and also, like, old projects are already starting to look fucking dead to me. Like the FK Twigs project already looks a bit shit now when I look at it, which is frustrating because I was quite proud of it when I was finished, and now I'm just like, ugh. Like, oh, maybe if I used aces it would be so much better, or maybe if I did this, or maybe if I knew about this technique. I guess it's kind of the curse of being a CG artist, right? But or an artist of any kind. Or just of being human, I guess. Always look at your own stuff and think, nah, ain't good. kind of like how crazy that looks. Now, do we need one at the top that just goes across to make it kind of a, you know, it's set in its place kind of thing? Like, it's not tied, it's just like actually just knotted as fuck. Like, the kid doesn't tie it every day with it like a nice bow. Let's just give it a go. Modify, set to pivot. Just turn it around so you can't tell it's literally this one duplicated. I can't tell as easily, I guess. Yeah, that helps. So let's see how that looks. Bit crazy, sure, but interesting. So now we got the lovely task of UVing this thing. Also unfolding this guy again. Let's quickly do that first. It's this bit I need to unfold. Just here. Why would I want that? Alright. Unfold, unfold. Cool. Then let's grab all of these guys. Modify. No, not modify. Combine. We won't duplicate that yet. Wait, do they have UVs? Oh. Okay. I mean, I can live with that. I just need to flip half of them, but that's fine. No, not layout. Flip. Where was it? That's super fucking convenient. They already have UVs. Cool. I can always bend them around later to get them to feel like they actually fit the shoe, but for now that does plenty for me. That's fine. And I'm definitely not gonna rig these. They're gonna be weight painted 100%. Cool. So now let's grab that. L laces geo. I'm gonna start getting rid of char kid because it really doesn't make a difference. -1 on you. so I'm going to need to transfer the shape. Well, I guess I could just manually fix it. Cool. Let's grab that. Find there. All laces. Right, it's gonna crash again. Modify, free transformations. Yeah, it's gonna crash. Render relatable scene. Arnold, flush caches. All, I guess. Update full scene. Initializing the render. Do this thing for a moment. Okay, so flushing the caches is the right thing to do. Let's go into render cam and play that. Yeah, it's looking cool. Bit crazy, but I kind of like it. Should we get some patchwork on the shoes then? Although, the question to be asked now is actually, am I drifting too far from this? If I start adding patchwork, am I going to start adding patchwork to the over clothing? I mean, I can do it, it's not too late, but it might not work. Let's just get that grass in there. Let's get a box in. Let's just get everything in. So I'm going to delete the band because I don't need it. We'll get the box in. We'll get the monster in, I guess, as well. Just so we get all the shadow information. Because that's how insignificant it's going to be in the actual thing. So I'm really not too worried, like, about how realistic it is. And then it will be out of focus as well, because the focus point is going to be on the head or the box at all times. So let's just grab you. Yeah, so that's like basically the most it's going to be seen. So let's not spend too much longer on this. I need to get something on the trousers. So let's start blocking out material for this guy. We do also have the let's duplicate this material. Kid coat. I'm just going to grab all of this, go edit, duplicate, shading network. This is going to get renamed to trousers. Trousers matte. And then I need to replace all the texture connections. Well, this one doesn't need to be replaced because I'm going to be replacing that with something else. This, though, does need to be replaced. Wait, that's not actually connected. Okay. Why can't I see the connections? I'm going to reopen the scene because I don't trust that in the slightest. Cool. So let's go back into here. Let's grab the coat. Okay, let's grab all of it again. Edit, duplicate shading network. Something is really breaking. 'Cause it's not getting this. Huh. Okay, do we just need to go one bit at a time? Again, I'm just going to open the scene because I really don't trust undoing duplicates. So, okay, coat material. Edit, duplicate, network. Okay, so that's worked. So now I just need to duplicate you as well. Okay, I'll delete all these guys. Let's rename that to Trazomet and assign it. Cool, that's that done. Then we need this guy. So, let me just take a moment to think, because this isn't duplicating properly and I don't trust it. Oh, let's also save all matter. So, let's duplicate these guys. Edit, duplicate. So you can't duplicate layer materials or layer textures. Or at least if it does, it doesn't show them. Can I go forward? So it's there, what the fuck? Can I just duplicate on its own? Edit, duplicate, without network. So layer textures don't show up when you try to duplicate them. Interesting. Layer texture 9. Is that going forward into layer texture 9? Layer texture 10, alright, so. Oh god, that's so confusing. So I need to break this connection. Because that's all levels of confusing. I need to break this connection too. Then I just need to create a layer texture. And basically copy this guy. I also need to get the base color, plug you in there because we want just one base color node. And yeah, we just need to copy this now one at a time. So what goes first? The ramp goes first as input 0. So let's go layer texture. And then one at a time. So the first one, oh, that's file 10. That's file 5. I hate the layer texture nodes so much. So that's the ramp, so that's gonna be this guy, right? So let's drag you in there. Cool. So then next one in line is this on its own needs to go into the lowest level. That makes sense. So you need to go there. So then the one that was on top goes into input 4. Also, this shouldn't be an issue. Like, the way this is acting right now shouldn't be the case. Color, and then we just need to get the tileable weave, which we have just down here, and get red into also these should renumber themselves. Oh, that's probably why it's not working. It's got a missing input. It's missing input 0 or input 1 and input 3. Is there a way to kind of reset this guy? Inputs. No, apparently not. Okay, so we just need you into, let's just go with this one, and then blue, you just need to go into that one. And that can go into base color. And subsurface. Cool. And then the last thing we need to do is get you, plug you into there. So now in theory we've got working trousers. In theory. It's probably incredibly broken. Let's also just make sure that the actual object is set to use subdivision, which it is. Let's do the same with the shoes, because they're not going to be. Oh, they are. What the fuck? Alright, cool. They don't need it. They're already 2,000 polygons each anyway. I need to simplify that down. And then let's go into this. Render cam. So I'm going to need to change the weave that's being used, because I want more of a pinstripey thing going on with the trousers. Also, the UVs are going to be a different scale anyway. So let's go in with perspective cam. So everything's just too big at the moment, or too small even. So let's just going to drag all this over here, just so I can work on the hypershade without, I guess I don't need to drag that over, did I? Cool. So let's just get the trouser material on its own. That's actually the displacement that I need, right? So grab you, you need to be, this is going to change anyway, but let's take that down, 20. Then you need to be, it's currently set to 12 and 12, so let's go with 8 and 8. And then that's 50% reduction, well, 30% reduction. So let's go with 2.5 and 2.5. So we're going to have to figure out exactly what we want. We're going to have to think about what color we want. Well, not color, because I'm going basically entirely monochrome for this guy, but it's all either brown or black. I want all my color to come through the lighting in the final thing. It's a little bit too small, isn't it? The noise. I need to go through the maps as well to find what's working. So let's just go. Let's check our displacements first. Oh, no, let's not check the displacements first. Let's check the. Oh, I need to bring this over. Let's check the XYZ weave first. So let's go with a. Let's check corduroy. Could be interesting. Although I kind of want to reserve it for the shoes. Let's just see how it looks. And then I need to replace this guy with the same one. It's called. Luckily, I've got only one corduroy. Oh wait, I know I do only have one corduroy. Cool. And then let's go with displacement. That's cooler looking. At the right scale for what I wanted as well. Perfect. This needs to be lighter now. So let's just get zoomed out for a moment. So obviously corduroy isn't the final look that I'm going to go for, like, in the slightest, but it gets the vertical stripe thing that I am looking for. So let's go to the render cam shape. And I'm just going to let that clean. While that goes, I'm going to temporarily hide my screen and mute my microphone. I'm just going to log into Steam, just so I can get onto Substance Designer. So if you guys give me one moment, I'm back in a moment. Right, it's just launching now. I'm gonna unhide the screen in a moment. I don't like launching softwares other than Maya with the screen visible, just because I don't know what information will come up on screen. looks like we're fine though, so I'm going to show the screen now. Let's go to recent files, and then we want to go to char_kid texturing. Let's see how he's doing. Why did that restart the render? I feel like I should go even bigger with the bumps. As in frequency bigger, not scale bigger. Yeah, let's go way bigger. Let's go braver. So I'm going to go to half of what they were, which this was 12 and 12. And this one was 4 and 4. Although I need to go even braver with that, really, don't I? So let's go to a third of what they were. Because that's actually barely a change on this guy. This guy was set to 4. What is a third of 4? I'm really bad at maths. Let's just go 1.3. And then this guy needs to go down to, he needs to go down to 10. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, hello.
How's it go?
Not too bad, just streaming in a moment. What, sorry? Streaming. It's raining. Yeah, no. It's nice. I like the sound of rain.
I like the sound of you.
Hey, no being cute here. It's illegal.
Find the weed!
Is that a police? I'm calling the weed. Yeah, I might need to go stronger on the display some, but we'll see. Because the thing is, I'm going to be replacing the corduroy. Because I think ultimately corduroy isn't going to give me what I want. Although it is interesting in its own right. It's too dark though.
Sounds like a cool job.
What sounds like a cool job?
It's a project coming up in Belfast that's shooting, but they started asking, it's a company, I think it's a company actually my dad sells to, they do props for movies.
Uh-huh.
So they specifically asked for experience with ZBrush and 3D printing for armor.
That's cool.
That sounds like a cool job, doesn't it?
That sounds like something for Rhino.
I sent it to him. He then asked me, as you could tell.
Can you say this on stream?
No, I can't say the stream. He called me, I think he called me a little bitch, and I was like, I ain't no little bitch. No, he called me a son of a bitch, and I told him, I am not a son of a bitch. I said, I am the bitch. And he was like, oh, you got me there. And I was like, hey, when you outrhyme the rhino.
When you outrhyme the rhino. Never say that again, please.
Oh yeah, it was like, listen to me, you little shit. How dare you confuse me right now. Oh, but then I ended the conversation with, hey, I'm a shit, but guess what? I ain't a banned one. Cause
he's banned again. Yeah.
Facebook. Of course he's banned from Facebook.
He's always banned. I'm doing laces on the shoes. Like crazy laces.
Oh, that's cool. They're like the boots that I want, but they're $400.
Yeah, those are expensive. Don't expect them.
No, I would never expect them. I don't think anyone, unless you're like fucking hiking.
I mean, I spent 200 quid on a scarf for you, and that mortified you. So I think 400 quid on shoes would make you want to.
Make me have a cardiac arrest.
I think that would make you want to commit breakup.
Commit breakup.
And commit breakup.
Or just take the shoes.
Take the shoes.
I feel like the difference between those shoes and a scarf is, you know what I mean. You're always gonna.
You actually wear the shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize when I was paying 200 quid for a scarf that you wouldn't fucking wear it.
It's warm here.
No, you have worn it. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's 60 degrees outside right now.
Every weather is scarf weather. It's the most expensive gift I've ever bought anyone. It was a fucking scarf. I think it's the most expensive gift I've ever bought someone.
The moral of this story is you're fucking idiot.
Yeah, I can take that. I think the only reason I went for it is because I was in Canada, so I was like, I need to get something from Canada Goose. Like, I'm here. I need to get something from there, and it is like either a fucking like 150 quid jumper for myself, or a scarf because you wanted a scarf at the time anyway.
Yeah, like a big foof scarf.
Yeah, you didn't want a fucking Canada Goose one, but still. These are very first world problems to have, so you can fucking take the scarf and quit your bitching.
That 200 pound is my car payment, man. She just give
That
me
is your car payment,
she
but
just give me the car payment.
no, just paying someone's car is so boring. Why does it keep resetting? That's so annoying.
I know I have to resize the fucking head on this. That's what it's done. Right.
So we definitely need to find a better material. So let's go with. See what the cottons are like.
Can I play some music? What really?
You can play it through your headphones.
No, they're hurting my ears. That makes both my ear again.
You can take my bows.
You want to connect them?
Yeah, you've used them before.
Have I?
Yeah, you've used them before. Ready? They'll automatically connect to my phone, but you'll need to connect them. You okay? Do you not know how to connect them?
They have a hairband in my ear. There's Bluetooth, aren't
Yeah. The power switch is on the right here. Not too keen on that one. Let's go with.
I can still hear them, but
When you turn them on, they noise cancel more.
it's really funny because it sounds like I'm in an airplane.
Yeah. But like, have you turned them on?
Yeah, they're on.
Oh yeah. So once you start playing music, you won't hear shit.
Our fire alarm went off the other night and Mike didn't fucking hear it.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I was playing guitar through
It's
headphones.
not showing up on my phone.
Well, that's a shame.
Listen here, you piece of shit. Can I use your phone?
Jesus. Just use all my shit, why don't you? Yes, you can, by the way.
Listen here, you dick. Fuck off.
I bought you AirPods and then you keep borrowing my AirPods. It's like.
See this pink bathroom? I'm gonna bin it.
No, don't bin the bathrobe. I like the bathrobe.
I just get bullied all the time. Oscar.
Wait,
You're here.
Oscar's not here. Oscar.
If you're here, leave us.
Ian's not here either.
Who the fuck's here? No one.
Kosi is here.
If
And
Lisa's
free
here-
mystery people.
If Lisa's lurking in the background.
Yeah, if Lisa's lurking again.
Just leave the stream.
What material is chamfrey? Or chambry?
Oh, I don't like this.
Because the problem is I don't know what some of these materials are.
It's muffled on my clicks. This is
Ooh! Actually, this might be the exact material I need.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Try chambry.
No, I got to fucking go back and forth.
Oh no.
Yes.
Life is misery. This is gonna be super fucking dark, isn't it? I'm also gonna have to figure out what scale I need. I don't think that's the scale I need. Hard to tell. Especially when you got fucking words that escape you. What the fuck what's the word I'm looking for? Ah, it's gone. It's long gone. My depth of field is the word I was looking for. Yeah, that works. Do we need to go stronger with it though? I mean, I feel like that needs to be smaller for it to work. Like the general cloth stuff, sure, I can keep that the scale it is, but for that, I think it needs to go smaller. So let's put that up to 15. So it's a 50% boost. Or 50% reduction, I guess. There we go, that's better. That's the thing, sometimes with cloth, is one of the hardest things to get right is, sometimes when you think you need something stronger, actually what you need is it to be smaller, because it will read visually stronger. There's a whole thing about how frequency and magnitude mix, which is like super weird and kind of interesting, which is if you have the same magnitude on the displacement, so let's say the amount of displacement is always the same, but you increase the frequency of that displacement, it will look like the displacement's got stronger, but it hasn't. It's the frequency is fucking with your mind. Granted, whenever you reduce frequency, you should reduce magnitude as well for it to have the same general look. But yeah, I don't think there's a way to automate that. I mean, well, you can just multiply the frequency to get your magnitude, but I don't want to do that. That involves finding like fancy stuff. It does need to be stronger though. So let's go into that displacement and go to you. Oh, you're already set to be full strength. Oh, and the set range is going to fuck me over as well. So I guess what we can do is go to this guy, double U, and then half these guys. So rather than 0.75, I should go to, let's just go to 0.4, so it's slightly stronger. In fact, no, let's go down to 0.3, so it's slightly less. And then U should go down to 0.5. There we go. Feels a bit better. So now when we zoom out, that should feel a lot closer. And then when we get to the final stage of adding like the small fuzz, that'll feel quite nice. We should check this through the render, proper render cam now. Because the thing is, we will be rendering a depth of field on the final thing, so it is kind of important to see how it looks with depth of field as well. And just as expected, you can't really see it. But if it gets the general bumpiness and stuff working, then it's just a case of getting the color right now. And I think that's working for me. All 5 pixels are working great. So, color's the next thing to get. Let's go into U. Did you not open? Oh, have I moved it around? Just gonna grab a drink. Back in a moment, guys. There we go. Right, so let's get to texturing the trousers, which look like they've gotten way too dark in the actual scene. It's annoying how much of this like texture detail we lose, but yeah, there's a reason. So we're going to need to create a fill layer. I should probably get the other stuff in there, shouldn't I? So let's go with save this scene. Oh, I need to fix EVs on this guy, don't I? Before I forget. I mean, I did forget, I guess, but just unfold these free. There we go. Then fix that because that's gonna bug the shit out of me. There we go. Let's just grab char kid, assign Lambert 1, then export selection to modeling, Maya exports, published, char kid. I feel like material should be on for it actually to work properly. Not sure on that. So let's just go into edit, bake mesh maps, no, project configuration. Let's grab the new file. Preserve strokes position on mesh, yep, because the whole thing hasn't moved. OpenGL, yep, that's all good. Let's see if this works. What the hell's going on outside? Sounds like GTA. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. Yeah, I thought they'd be broken. Oh, I had to remove the lasers. Unless I just quickly lay those out now. We need to do a flip of these and lay them all out again. And scale these all the way down and put them with everything else. Although I should be doing all this with the material still assigned. So let me just undo. It's quicker to redo those UVs than it is to please then I can undo far enough. Ah, fuck you. Alright, so edit. Our file open, I guess. Let's flip them now. And then grab these at the same time. Layout. Scale that down. Move it all down here for now. Then select you. They're not in that group. Oh yeah, they're not. So I'm not too worried about these technically being in the right place. That there. And I guess I should move everything up to make space for these at the bottom. That makes the most sense. And their textile density can be a lot higher than everything else. Come on, there we go. There should be a gap between those, but let's leave it alone for now. Is there a way to space evenly? I got a feeling it's distribute. Great if it didn't confuse the fuck out of it. Do we have to select it in UV island mode? Distribute. Okay. So, why exactly? Let's leave it alone for now. Cool. Char kid. File, export selection. Materials are off. And let's just update that. File. No, edit. Project configuration. Grab you again. What time is it? Yeah, that's about right. Cool. So we're going to have to rebake mesh maps. But it should give perfectly good results. So let's go texture sets. I know. Edit, bake mesh maps. We're going to go 4K, bit of anti-aliasing. And then I guess a little bit more anti-aliasing because we're going for final quality now. And bake selected textures, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Let that do its thing. There we go, done. So we just need to fix some of these maps. Oh, actually it's worked. Cool. It's struggling a bit. Oh, it's calculating something. It's probably redoing all the materials actually. Done? Hey, there we go. Right, so looks like everything's worked. Just need to minimize the sky a little bit. So what do we need to do? We need to figure out the color of the shoes, color of the laces, and color of the trousers. Trousers I want to do kind of a pinstripey type thing. I have no idea what presets we have that would work for that. I'm gonna just search for pinstripe fabric. Pinstripe fabric. So I need to get a good idea of like you know, a nice reference to go for. So I kind of want to go for something like this, but less shiny. I think that could be quite interesting. Pinstripe fabric, trousers. I want it to be a lot more subtle than those though. This one's kind of interesting. Although the shape of the fabric is completely wrong for that. That's the problem I've got, is like the shape of my trousers are like super basic. But then simulation will bring some of this in anyway. I've never understood this. So strange. Yeah, this kind of fabric's interesting. Let's just bring that over to the other screen. So we need to make a layer for the trousers. So trousers mat, limit you to exclude all tiles, include that tile, and then within that create a mask, add black mask, and then in that mask just use this boy. Is it this one? Mesh fill, yep. Fill that with white. And then all I'm going to do now is just put a fill layer inside that. Get inside that layer, please. There we go. Yes, that's only applied to the trousers now. Ooh, the lighter colour is kind of interesting, actually. Not that much lighter, obviously, but it looks a bit too fashionable to some extent. So let's just replace that fill layer with was it a smart material? I can't remember. Fabric base. Let that do its thing. So let's go through layer by layer. Ooh, that's horrible. Why is that the base? Turn that the other way, so let's go to rotation. And set that to exactly 90. And then scale. Not really working, is it? Yeah, not really too keen on this fabric material, to be honest. It's very strange. That's also acting super weird. That's acting really weird. Okay, let's delete this guy. There we go. Got it eventually. Right, shelf. Let's just go to the regular materials and then search fabric in there. Probably soft denim could be interesting. Denim base, maybe? Come on. This one's kind of interesting. Wait, is that a feature? Well, that's cool. If you have a fill layer selected and then click on one of these guys, it replaces it. That's quite a nice little feature. Right, so let's just get into the properties of this guy. Let's go with the base color. Color wise, that's okay for me, I think. I'll say color. Value wise. And then let's quickly block out the shoes as well. Let's create a new layer. Shoes. Matte. And in there, create a fill layer. And that shoes mat should be exclude all tiles. Include that tile. And then we need to create a black mask. So there we go. And then for this guy, I'm going to need, this one can be the leather base. Which is going to be on the bottom. So let's go with shelf. And then I think leather bag. Alright, we can just click. And in fact, do we have any smart materials for leather? Probably do, right? Yeah, we do. We have quite a few actually. Give that a moment to do thinking. I think actually the leather base works better for me. So, just a bit shiny as well. And we need to mask that only to the bottom. So let's create a folder for that to go into. Leather sole group. Then within that group, create a black mask. And let's paint white. So it's going to be these two. Oh, it means to turn off tangent. So that's UV only. And then I don't know if it works with symmetry on. I think it has done in this case. Yeah, looks like it's worked pretty well. Cool. Then we just need another group. Let's delete you. Alright, remove the layer itself. Create a new group. This group can be shoe, cloth group. And this one will have another black mask. And then get painted in for just these two. Well, I actually need to put a fill layer in there so we can actually see what it's doing. Kind of like this like space age like bright white thing. No idea what I just clicked. So let's get a nice material for you. Let's go to the shelf, back into fabric, and then there's like a burlap one, right? Yeah, there we go. Just drag you in there. Oh no, it's a corduroy I want to do, right? Is there a corduroy? Because I'm going to be doing a lot of it in shader, so I don't want to do too much here. Let's try that. Becca. Flannel slippers, yay or nay?
What?
Flannel slippers, yay or nay? It's kind of one of those like, accident things. I just assigned a material to see how the height looks, and the pattern just looks so bad, I love it. Right, okay, so let's go into base flannel, I guess? No. Yeah, let's not do that either. So let's remove layer. Remove this layer too. Let's go to our where is it? Materials? There it is. Fabric. So what colour am I going to go with? Am I going to go with that kind of brown type thing? What colour is it in Maya again? It's like a dark brown. Alright, go to plan. Yeah, so let's get that dark brown. He's a bit more saturated, right? And let's just change the scale of that. So we're going to need to vary the color just slightly. I also want to remove the height information. I cannot remove the color information as well, but then it's kind of removing everything. So I might just replace this with a regular fill layer. And let's remove this layer and just pick a color. So on top of that, let's add another fill layer. This one can be set to darken. Add black mask, add generator. Let's go with, I always go with dirt. I don't want to be that boring, but dirt just works. It's kind of cool, but it's not what I want in the slightest. Where's my ambient occlusion? It's kind of cool. Gives me a sense of depth that I wouldn't have got otherwise, actually, so I might keep that. Although I do want to mask it out on the side here. There has to be a... Is that really not a dirt like distance? Yeah, I think I'll just have to paint that out manually. Okay, so let's add a paint layer on top of this. This one can be just paint sides. Let's get a nice brush. Hey Shirley, how you doing? Let's use some Kyle brushes. So I need to get my actual Wacom. I just realised I'm not using my Wacom. The stream ends in like 20 minutes as well, so made it quite far without it. See, technically the correct thing for me to do would be to make a mask for a dirt material and use a separate dirt material on top of the corduroy that I'm going to be doing, but I'm just going to take the easy way out and colour the corduroy with the dirt. Properties. Let's change that flow. There we go. That'll do for me. And then just to get something a bit more interesting, I'm going to darken just these back sections. So let's add a, so this is base col. I'm going to add a new fill, which is back col. This one is a dirt col, I guess. That's an awful naming convention, but so be it. This back col is just going to be a multiply set to not quite white. And then we're just going to apply black mask. Go into this. Is there a UV connection tool? UV chunk fill. Okay, we'll just paint it. Oh, maybe it did work. Cool. So let's just go back into that color. So this be black. And then just set this to be a lower opacity. Just so it's subtly darker. And that will add a surprising amount. Cool. So let's get that exported. Let's also save this as a new file. Save as. Oh, that's Propbox. Don't want that. It's going to feel too dark here, isn't it? I just need to figure out what material I'm doing for the laces. That's saved already? Jesus. Alright, let's export the files, export textures. I'm gonna go to StickyMonsters preset, export. Let that do its thing. Oh, that feels better. Cool, that's done. Into Maya. And I don't know if I have enough time to get everything set up, but let's give it a go. So this is trousers. Let's reduce the one that's darkening stuff. Is that the one that's darkening stuff? Oh, that's the one that's brightening things, right? No, that's the brightening. So I need to, just gonna do that. Cool, so that looks like it's all linked, that's good. Let's go edit, delete unused nodes. So these need a new material. I'm just gonna start by duplicating the trousers. Edit, duplicate. Without network. Shoe mat. Let's assign it so that it gets a shader group. And then we're going to need to duplicate just the displacement. Edit, duplicate, shading network. Cool. And then I guess for color, for now, we can just drag the base color in and drag that to subsurface as well. And then let's just quickly replace, let's hide that. Replace you with corduroy, no, you with corduroy. And we're just going for this for now. Let's just see how that looks. Oh, we'll also need to reconvert our base color text manager. I eventually figured out how to do it. So, oh, there's two of them. Delete the text for both of those. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. Cool. Update full scene. So I'm going to need to go through all my textures and set them up for aces. So that's clearly not reading something correctly. The scale of the corduroy is a little bit small, but I'll get over that. I need to fix the displacement as well, it's inflating a bit too much. So why are you black? Just check the file. So it's the last UDIM, right? Didn't export it properly. So where did that just save to then? Oh wait, am I being an idiot? Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's the issue. Yeah, alright, cool. So let's delete that. And fix the path. And export that again. Cool. It's really quick. Let's try that now. So just go into the text manager, show full paths. Where's base color? Chart kid, there it is. Delete text, create text. Now it seems to change the size of the corduroy, and then I'll call the stream off for today. Okay, so it is working now. So obviously we need to fix displacement. Let me just grab you, take you off screen. Oh. Whack-a-mole almost went bye-bye. Cool, so let's go to corduroy, start that again. And it's got to change the tiling value. So let's go to like, let's try doubling it, 30. Now obviously we need to lower the strength. What do we? It's kind of interesting actually. Does a wrap deformer consider displacement? That'd be really cool if it does, because I could wrap deform it to these and the displacement will move it. If that isn't a feature, it should be a feature. I need to add some really extreme facing ratio stuff, so let's quickly do that and then call the stream off. Oh, that's updated now, nice. So, let's go into the diffuse for this guy, and I'm just going to create a layer material, a layer texture even. Cool. And then on top of this, we're going to add. We're going to add the same color back on, but then as a mask, we're going to use a AI facing ratio plugged into a ramp. Let's see if I've got the orders right. Yeah, I have. Alright, cool. And then we need to invert that. Something like that will do. There we go. Feels a bit better. Spec needs to be way up for corduroy. I did not select the leg. So spec, let's bring you down and also color you a fair bit. Do we double down even more and add the color of this? No, let's go more golden. And then final thing, let's just temporarily turn off the other two displacements. Take this off screen again. I just want to see if the displacement. Okay, so the whole thing's inflating. Great. So if I turn this off, let's lower that spec. It's way too bright. Saturation's a bit much, but I kind of like it. So we'll keep that. Let's just get that displacement back in. I should offset these, shouldn't I? So if I set min to 1. Okay, so that's just completely enveloping that for some reason. There's not really anything I can do about it. Oh wait, no, I need to set that to -1, sorry. No, it's still enveloping. Alright, so something's wrong. Something is broken, but that is not to fix tonight. That's for a different night. So let's turn everything back on. Turn on all the layers. Yeah, I can make it look pretty in the next stream. Cool. So turn that off. I think I need to change the color like completely. Needs to be brighter overall. Let's just go into the render cam. Hide the monster. Let's show the grass as well, just because it's going to obstruct everything. We may as well have it in there. Something about the proportions isn't working for me yet, which is a bit of an issue because we passed the proportion point in the project. It's the legs. I don't know if they're wide enough or not. Let's just temporarily turn off the box light. And let's get that focus point back in where it should be, which is right between the eyes. Let's go for an angle like that one. Yeah, the shoes are too saturated. We know that much. The leg silhouette just isn't working for me yet. I don't know how much of that is from basic shape and how much of it is from actual proportions. I might send it around to a few people. Stop rendering for some reason. What killed it? Yeah, so if we pull the value up and the saturation down, I think that will work. So though, progress is progress. We are definitely slowing on this guy though, so I think it'd be wise to move on for a bit. Maybe do some rigging. Or at least get the skeleton in place. Because textures I can change at any point, and I am going to be doing cloth simulation. Maybe we should do a test run of cloth simulation. Like rig it super quickly and do a test run of that stuff. Not entirely sure yet, to be honest. Leg silhouette is really bothering me though. It needs like bits missing out of it basically. But once the silhouette's broken up by cloths, then that probably fits itself. Maybe it's a case of like rig it into pose, do some basic cloth sim, and then if I need to, I can kind of simulate on that. I can sculpt on top of that simulated mesh to get the shapes that I want. Because I'm not pushing this through a full pipeline in terms of like proper animation. I'm going to be doing some form of animation, but only to get it in position and have something for the cloth sim to work with. Because obviously the moment that I decide to do cloth sim, I kind of force myself into doing a little bit of rigging and animation. I also need to delete the grass where the shoes are because they're cutting through. But that's something that can wait until after I've done everything. After I've posed it. So I need to figure out what's going to go in the scene. Like what other items are going to be in there. Hard to say. Right, well, I'm going to end the stream here, guys. I'll be continuing on Tuesday as normal, as far as I'm aware. So, I think I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do in the next stream. Because there's a lot in terms of, like, the trousers aren't working, but I can't tell if it's because they don't reach the bottom, or if it's because they're too straight, or if it's because the proportions are wrong. Because they do feel quite short, but they only feel short because the coat is long. But this is the sort of stuff I need to figure out now, because if I figure this out later, we'll have to re-UV, retexture to some extent. Obviously, most of my texturing has been semi-automated, so it's not a huge issue. But yeah, we've got to figure that stuff out. Once I've got that figured, we can start getting a bit more into the techie stuff. Obviously, I've still got to do the background as well, but that can wait. That can be literally the absolute last thing we do in the project. But yeah, anyway. See you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully see you guys on Tuesday. Bye bye.